For a lot of people, a job is just that, a job, a shift to cover and a role to fill. The question is, are companies just filling seats or actually building something that lasts?
Filling jobs to me is just finding that one-time person to help fill what the workforce gap has at the moment. But typically that same person is sitting there asking, I just need the next dollar. They're not really coming in to make a long-time loyal career at that organization where I know I'm safe, protected, and I'm thought of as being a human and not just a body to fill an actual business need.
Meet Nysia Gaskin-Hadley, the People, Values, and Communications Executive at TALKE USA, and brings over 15 years of HR leadership experience across industries including oil and gas, aerospace, and manufacturing.
Let's switch the focus a little bit and talk about community impact. When companies talk about community impact, that can mean different things. Can you talk us through how community impact really comes to life at TALKE USA?
Oh my gosh, we're so busy, Alexander. Our community impact spans everywhere from what we do actually in the community to how we serve through our organization to ensure that we are keeping a sustainable community, as well as associations we have from various different organizations with our employees.
What does a real career path look like for someone entering the industry today?
I feel like it's more flexible than it was when we were growing up. In order to make sure that we don't become extinct, we say, how do we make this sexy for the new generation? And the way we do that is saying, come in with just a will, and we'll give you this skill.
What advice would you give to leaders who want to move beyond the short-term hiring and start building something more sustainable?
It's a lot of advice, but if you ask the right questions and ask enough questions, you'll...
For a lot of people, a job is just that, a job. A shift to cover and a role to fill. But in places like Baytown, these jobs are much more than that. They shape careers, support families, and define what community looks like over time. The question is, are companies just filling seats or actually building something that lasts? Pull up a chair. I'm your host, Alexander Boehm. Let's talk about it. Today, we are talking about community impact and what it really means to build careers, not just jobs, in industrial hubs like Baytown. In industries like chemical logistics, workforce challenges are nothing new. But the conversation is beginning to shift from short-term hiring to long-term investment in people and communities. Nysia Gaskin-Hadley leads People, Values, and Communications at TALKE USA and is the perfect person to speak with me about today's topic. She works at the intersection of culture, workforce development, and community engagement, helping shape how people grow. Welcome to Talk About, Nysia. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Thank you for spending some time with me today. Really appreciate it. I know that you have very busy days.
My pleasure. You too.
When you look at industrial hubs like Baytown, what's the difference between filling jobs and building careers?
Absolutely. Filling jobs to me is just finding that one-time person or a short-term need to help fill what the workforce gap has at the moment. But typically that same person is sitting there asking, I just need the next dollar. They're not really coming in to make a long-time loyal career at that organization. And when you're looking to actually build careers, you're looking at people and say, how do you help me build a future? How do we help you develop and become more a career-bound progression of an employee to really understand how do I not just get a job, but I want to actually grow a career, right? And so I always look for places where they want to build communities, organizations, and people. My purpose is to build. And so if I'm in it to build, I want to make sure that we're doing a great job of offering the opportunity, offering the resources, support, and the mindset to help you build.
That's awesome. Can you talk a little bit about why it is more important today to really focus on that?
Yes, today more than ever, employees are realizing they have options. Options to say, I want to be somewhere where I feel valued. I want to be somewhere where they see the value in who I can be. I might not know how to articulate what it is, but they will help me find it. And I'll be somewhere where I know I'm comfortable, where I know I'm safe, I know I'm protected, and I'm thought of as being a human and not just a body to fill an actual business need.
Absolutely. Let's switch the focus a little bit and talk about community impact. When companies talk about community impact, that can mean different things. Can you talk us through, how community impact really comes to life at TALKE USA?
Oh my gosh, we're so busy, Alexander. I think you can chime with me. Our community impact spans everywhere from what we do actually in the community to how we serve through our organization and ensure that we are keeping a sustainable community, as well as the associations we have from various different organizations with our employees, right? So in the community, we do blood drives. We've hosted local blood drives in the community. Anybody can come out and donate blood to help save lives. We volunteer animal shelters. So we've done the Baytown Animal Shelter to go and help those pretty babies over there for those that love their fur babies. We've also volunteered at the Mont Bellevue Rehabilitation Center. And so we will go and spend time because we believe everybody deserves time, attention, and care. And so we do that as well. And we've adopted families for the Christmas holidays. We make sure that the employees are able to use their voice and say what really speaks to your heart and how can we help to support that initiative from a community involvement perspective. And then we have our good old faithful CEO, who is also a board member of the Bay Area West Chamber Economic Alliance, I believe. I don't have the full name down, but very busy. We are part of the Economic Alliance as well. And then we have people that are in the ITMA, the International Transportation Association. So we also do that. And then we're also OCS, Operational Clean Sweep, which means that we have done the job and we continue to do the job to keep our environment clean. So we also make sure we're supporting the community from an environmental perspective as well. We have our Recycle Support Center. We're just very busy. And then we don't forget about our esteemed and our most loved professionals, our employees, and we make sure that we give them fun to have with their Family Fun Day, which is also hosted in Baytown at the AR Entertainment Center. And we have the most illustrious holiday party, which involves our employees and their families as well. So we support community from every aspect of not just the Baytown community, but what our employees are actually seeing as their community.
And that's really awesome, just by the number of events you just talked us through. There's a lot of things going on, absolutely. Now let's connect the two topics. How do you see the workforce development connecting to the health of the community?
Absolutely. That will entail our programs. So we just started our apprenticeship program. It was a grassroots start, but we're super excited. We have 2 great individuals helping there. And we partner with local high schools and colleges to help us pull that off. Also, there's a nonprofit agency that's helping us there called Stair Jobs that's helping us with the development and workforce readiness to get them to be supreme employees, not just for our organization, but in the community. We also have just started a forklift operator training program. I'm doing a plug. We are currently recruiting for that as well, not just individuals, but building careers there. And then we have a CDL program that we do in our organization, which we partner with Lee College, and that's for individuals that are already part of our organization and want to see career pathing and growth within their career skill and trade. So it's about building opportunities for people to see that I not just have one skill, but I can have various skills and be marketable anywhere I go.
Absolutely. You actually took away a little bit from my next question. What does a real career path look like for someone entering the industry today? Can you give us a little bit pointers in that direction?
You know, today I feel like it's more flexible than it was when we were growing up. You know, when we were growing up, we were kind of forced, you know what you're going to do. What are you going to do by the time you're in 3rd grade? It's like, I don't know, find the biggest box of crayons and find a new coloring book. But I find that we had to really flex how we offer variety and flexibility to the workforce today because they have so many opportunities. They have opportunity to be content creators, social media influencers, DoorDash drivers. And so, okay, well, we're going to sit here and become extinct in the workforce that still needs logistics supply chain. And so in order to make sure that we don't become extinct, we say, how do we make this sexy for the new generation? And the way we do that is saying, come in with just a will, and we'll give you this skill. And that's where we're starting off with our apprenticeship programs, with our forklift operator training programs, and showing that you might not know what your career path needs to look like, but we can help you. And that entails more than just the skill. It also entails a person that doesn't mind developing growth of humans, developing what our future looks like in the community. You can't just have a selfish mindset of, I just want to get to my next leadership position. How do I help to build a future so when I retire, I feel safe that the people that are left behind are still taking care of me too? So we're really helping to just build leaders, a leadership mindset, a coaching mindset, a mindset for the human growth.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're mentioning growth. I would like to drill a little bit deeper on that end. If you can give us a little bit a view on how companies are actually supporting their growth, right? After the initial hiring, you know, what does it look like over time? What are the areas where we supported the development and building a career?
It's a partnership situation. We can't do it alone. right? So we're partnering with, like I mentioned, with high schools to bring in the talent. We're partnering with colleges to help us with the job readiness because we don't have enough capacity from a leadership development to do it all our own. We're also investing in new leadership programs. So, of course, people have opportunity to do things on their own time. And then partnering with other nonprofit work readiness organizations that can also help us with job readiness, with helping people through life as a full perspective, holistically. If we can't just sit there and say, hey, this is how you need to act at work. It takes, how are you doing? What's going on at home? What are the challenges that are preventing you to be able to stay focused in this area? So we are making sure we do a full 360 approach on saying we're not just here to get you ready for our workforce. We're here to get you ready for life. And that requires a variation of resources from virtual talent, from learning development programs, as well as putting together structured programs that will help you from A to Z. The programs will include, as I mentioned, the virtual, but also a lot of coaching and mentorship with current leaders in the market and the outside resources.
Awesome. There's a lot of positives. Let's switch the view a little and talk through the pitfalls along the way. So where do you see pitfalls in organizations like TALKE USA, on that growth and development path?
Yeah, we have 5 generations in the workforce. You think that through. How much change has taken place in 50 years? Quite a bit, but they're also working, they're also valuable, and they all offer something. So it's asking and ensuring that those that you have in the position to make the impact for a different generation, a different diverse mindset, that they have the aptitude, the patience, the tolerance, the grace, and realize that somebody did it for you. So the challenge is helping those that want to help make a generation better. And then also just realigning and positioning those to say, that's really not for me, but there's still room for you, right? So you don't count anybody out. You just say, let's restructure and realign to where you can be a support and how we get this done, right? So finding room for everybody.
Absolutely.
My greatest challenge.
Oh, thank you very much for this rather deep insight. Let's talk about a little bit more again on the long-term impact. If a company is serious about strengthening community and building a longer-term strategy, can you talk us a little bit through, on how success looks like on that end? What would you look for? What do you measure to make it really? Yeah, exactly.
I got you. I got your back, brother. The thing is, we used to just look at turnover and numbers, right? Retention. Oh, we got to keep them. But is that truly the one metric that we need to look at? It helps us. It helps us see some trends and really understand where we're going as an organization. But I believe we got to look more into what's taking place in society. What are people really challenged with? What are the trends? Social media. We got to jump out and say, it can't just be what we see in our own numbers. We need to be out there. We could look at what's going on at the Department of Labor. We could see those numbers too. We could look at inflation, but we just need to be in the news, be all on TikTok and social media and saying what is really jiving? What is the vibe that the generation is bringing out today? And how do we just catch up and eventually hopefully surpass it so we can be ready for it? It's many different things that we could look at. And a lot of it's anecdotal data, which makes it really hard. And it's a feeling. There's a lot of feelings in the workplace today. It used to be about just using data, but the emotions do count. They hold value, and we have to kind of know how to put our antennas up and catch the vibe. It's truly a wave.
Stay connected with every single one along the line.
Absolutely.
That's a great approach. Longer term, what do you think does success look like for an organization in like 5 to 10 years to apply all these measures and insights for both the company, but also for the community?
Longer term, from my perspective, really does require everybody to work together. It really requires teamwork, which is one of our values. No way can anybody go at this alone because of the diversity that is being brought into the workforce, because of the diversity that the community requires and deserves, right? I love that we are a very stable organization, and that's what keeps our people there because they love the people they work with. They love that we're in the community, and they love that we're stable. You're not going to miss a payday. You're not going to miss an opportunity to come into work. Matter of fact, we love you at work. Please come to work. But, providing stability in the community, stability for people to be able to grow their career, and a clear picture, clarity on what does that look like. I've come to the door. The next year I can be doing this. wow, my pathway has hit a fork in the road. I can be doing 4 different things, and give you the autonomy to choose. And then speak up, and guess what? We'll make it happen. I love making magic happen. You know that. I love magic. I love hearing people's voices, acting on it, and showing them just because you open your mouth, we may change. Closed mouths don't get fed.
What advice would you give to leaders who wants to move beyond the short-term hiring, the filling seats, and start building something more sustainable?
It's a lot of advice, but I'm going to try to keep it short and concise and say clarity, alignment, and connection. Offer clarity to your employees. Offer opportunities to your employees. Make it very clear what your objectives are, set expectations. That way, the alignment piece that you are desiring, make sure there's true comprehension of what that looks like from both sides, right? From the employee side and from the leader side. And stay connected. Don't ever miss the opportunity to connect with somebody on a deeper level than just what you see going on in your operation, right? Understand what's going on, full 360 with your employees, with the workforce, and don't assume. Please ask the questions. Stay curious. I promise you, if you ask the right questions and ask enough questions, you'll get down to the bottom and to the meat of what's really going on. Sometimes people don't know what's going on until somebody talks to them about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that's really good advice, not assume, drill a little bit deeper and find out what's really going on.
What's going on?
Well, thank you, Nysia. That's going to do it for this conversation. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to sit down with me today and have this conversation. For people who would like to learn more about what you do, how your day-to-day work looks like, how can they connect with you? Where do they find you?
I'm on LinkedIn. I don't know my handles because I don't do a lot of social media, but the spelling of my name alone will find me anywhere. So it's NYSIAGASKIN-HADLEY. So if you just put that on Google, I promise you'll find me on all kind of platforms that I don't probably really engage with a lot, but I'm going to do better. But I guarantee you'll find me at TALKE in Mont Bellevue. So.
And Nysia is more than happy to connect for sure.
I
can promise you that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you're in Baytown, we'd love to connect in person. Reach out at info.talke.com/podcast to set that up. If you're not in Baytown, we put together something special for you. We have developed a free visibility checklist with 10 questions to ask any logistics provider before you sign. It takes about 5 minutes, and it will tell you real quick whether your current partner can actually see what's happening with your shipments. Anyone can download it for free now at info.talke.com/podcast. Until next time, I'm your host, Alexander Boehm. Thanks for joining the Talk About Podcast.